Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So Warhammer community website, I just put up next week's pre-orders. Of course, it's Sisters of Battle and Ritual of the Damned. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this book. What's coming out is featuring some of the biggest armies, really, Thousand Sons, Dark Angels, and Grey Knights. I'm really fingers crossed to see what they do with Grey Knights in this book. But beside that, I've also been sent some of the information regarding the articles that are going to be coming out next week in regards to the Psychic Awakening and more of the Psychic Awakening, like the Tau stuff. So let's jump in. Let's go through the pre-orders and we'll talk about what's coming article-wise. So let's just briefly go over some of the pre-orders for the Sisters and then we'll move on to the Ritual of the Damned because that's what I really want to talk about and that's what my hopes are and all the information I have towards that. So we have stuff like the Hospitaller, the Exorcist tank. We have the new Pennant engines. Again, for people asking how many Pennant engines come in the box, it's 2 Pennant engines per box. Price-wise, I absolutely have no idea how much all this is going to cost. I will know tomorrow morning, Monday. That is when my source contacts me with a price list, and I'll put that on my social media feeds, my Facebook, my Twitter, and stuff like that. So if you're wondering, just check out my Twitter and my Facebook tomorrow sometime, and I'll have the price lists on there. Hopefully, it won't be too pricey because some of these models look absolutely fantastic. I actually will be pre-ordering something for the Sisters next week, and it is this brand new pulpit, which you're seeing in the background. Now, for those of you who've been following my last wall protocol force, I'm actually going to be buying this just to get rid of the Sister on it, and I'm going to put a Space Marine on top of it, and this is going to be like my chapter master pulpit for my Sons of the Phoenix chapter when they come and when they're eventually added to the last wall. I think it's a really cool thing because, you know, the eagles and stuff like that, and in my mind, the Sons of the Phoenix are very ornate and stuff like that, and this, for me, would make them just stand out in the battlefield and just have that little rule of cool factor. Of course, I'm not going to use it as the actual vehicle because that won't be broken. It's just there to look cool and just there to look amazing in the armor. Anyway, moving on to the Psychic Awakening Ritual of the Damned. This is what I am most looking forward to. I've been waiting for this to come out now ever since they announced it with Dark Angels, Grey Knights, and of course Thousand Sons. I'm a massive Grey Knight fan, a huge Grey Knight fan. I actually sold my Grey Knights probably like mid 8th edition after when it came out, and from that I bought some more Custodians and stuff like that. But if Grey Knights really stick out in this book and they make a marking again, I would definitely be going down that road and buying more Grey Knights, because Grey Knights, Custodians, Sisters of Silence all working together. I get the the Chris Wright, the Emperor's Legion kind of vibes in that book, and yeah, it's just the rule of cool when it comes to the lore. Right, for the actual article, it says the next chapter of the unfurling Psychic Awakening saga is almost here. Ritual of the Damned tells a tale of Magnus and the Thousand Sons who seek to use the infernal energies unleashed by the Great Rift to further their own diabolical plans. They've opposed by both Dark Angel chapter of the Space Marines and the Elite Demon Hunters, the Grey Knights. This 88-page book is packed with new background material for all 3 factions, plus loads of new rules for each of them. There's a lot to unpack, so keep an eye out this week as we take a closer look at the updates. Ritual of the Damned will be available in standard hardback edition, ebook editions, and of course the fancy limited edition as well. Now, just a few things to mention on that front. Firstly, when it comes to the Psychic Awakening, I've been a bit let down with the lore. I think a lot of people have been in that kind of area. For me, like, I've enjoyed the lore, what they've done, but it really hasn't pushed forward, or, you know, there hasn't been anything massively galaxy spanning, wide changing, or there's not massive consequences or anything like that. I would have thought so, like calling this a Psychic Awakening and all the factions that have taken part, and you know, you're having Magnus and Primarchs being involved in this one. It just really hasn't hit home for me. So I'm hoping maybe this is the book where we start to see actually something new when it comes to it. And again, I harken back to the rules, of course, with the Grey Knights, and really looking forward to what they get. But also for you Dark Angel players, I know you Dark Angel players have been not moaning, but you've been upset that the Space Marines, like the Imperial Fist, have been getting all that cool kind of stuff, you know, with doctrines and stuff like that, and you chaps have really been left out in the cold. So hopefully this brings you up to our tier now, and you start getting really cool stuff, and you know, more stuff that you can bring to the tabletop and start fighting with, purging with, all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, you guys are my brothers, and I want to fight beside you. I want to purge in Dawn's glorious name with you, and watch you purge in the Lion's glorious name. And that goes for the Thousand Sons as well. You chaps should be getting some cool stuff in this. I have no idea what could really improve your army. I haven't really played Thousand Sons. I know people who play Thousand Sons. So if you can leave me in the comments like what you'd like to see coming from the Thousand Sons, that could be a pretty cool way to see what people want or what they're really hoping for in this book. Now, just to harken back and mention the collector's edition once again, because like I said, it comes out in normal, ebook, and of collector's edition. Now, if you do get the collector's edition, it says here, collector's edition including 16 extra pages with 4 short stories and additional artwork, plus a soft touch cover with a wrap of art around it. It looks fancy more or less on the outside. Okay, I get that. But when it comes to the inner stuff inside of it, where you get extra stuff inside, especially lore-wise, for me, who enjoys the lore more than the rules, I'm really let down by that, because it means that I have to go out and pay extra just to enjoy the lore. I think it's just a really crappy way of going around releasing a book to sell it. I understand, yeah, there's a collector's edition. They want to try and push the collector's edition so people buy the collector's edition, but holding content lore-wise, which people enjoy, and say, no, you can only get this via collector's edition, or stories and stuff, as it mentions in there, for or most short stories, only from buying the collector's edition. I think that's really a crappy move from GW, and hopefully they'll change that around, but I can't really see them change it. They're probably going to be sat on that now through the whole Psychic Awakening. That's what they've been doing throughout of it, and it's just crappy. I just don't like that at all. And of course, with model releases, we're going to get Lazarus. He's been on everyone's lips so far. Everyone expected Azrael to be Primaris-fied. I expected Azrael to be Primaris-fied. I was like, yeah, this is bang on. But it's not. It's Lazarus. He's a new character being introduced. He's the new 5th company captain for the Dark Angels. Fun fact, the designer actually over on Instagram mentioned that Lazarus was just going to be a generic Space Marine commander for the Dark Angels, but they were so impressed by it, they actually decided to write him into the story and make him the Primaris character for this release. So I'm wondering if that's going to be what they're going to be doing with the rest of these forces now. When I say rest of the forces, I mean like Space Wolves and stuff like that, like the chapters who haven't really received a Primaris character so far. I wonder if they're just going to get like a generic Wolf Lord, or are they actually just going to, introduce a new Space Wolf captain into the story. But of course, when you introduce a new captain, that always means that someone has to die for Lazarus to be introduced into the story. Who died now? I think it was Balthazar. Balthazar had to die, and a lot of people had their feathers ruffled at Balthazar's death, which is, is kind of crappy, because he did have an actual kick-ass model. And of course, since he was going to be a generic Dark Angel character, they designed him as a generic character where they gave him multiple options. So, of course, you have Lazarus with his eagle helmet, just holding the sword and stuff like that. But on the other ones, you can have him with a bolter and a power fist. And, but that's not Lazarus. That's just, just a generic character who should have different rules. I'm really interested to see what kind of rules they get along with this. I wonder if it's anything special for his sword, because his sword's supposed to be like an anti-psyker weapon. I'm wondering like how anti-psyker is it supposed to be? Does it do like double damage to psychers, or something strange like that? So it's going to be interesting to see his actual stats and how he handles himself on the battlefield. Now onward to the articles that are coming next week. So this information I've been given from an Alpha League contact, and we're having a lot of stuff, of course, dedicated to Ritual of the Damned, but also to the greater good as well. So tomorrow on the 13th, we're going to get a short story dedicated to the Tau, and the big thing about this, because I've actually read it, it's called Beyond the Star-Tide Nexus. Now, for those of you who are not aware, I made a video a couple of days ago, before I even got this information, about possibilities of the Tau fighting the Death Guard in the Star-Tide Nexus, and it turns out that this is going to be true now, because in the actual short story Beyond the Star-Tide Nexus, the Tau confirm that the Death Guard have been having battles with the Tau, so it's setting it up that the Tau will be fighting the Death Guard forces, which is going to be good, because Death Guard will get their rules in there, and of course Tau will be getting their rules in that next Greater Good book. But also there is a Gene Stealer stuff coming out as well in short story format, so it seems to be that the Gene Stealers, Tau, and Death Guard will all be in the Greater Good book. That's 3 factions in that book, just like Ritual of the Damned, Thousand Sons, Grey Knights, and Dark Angels. The next one, the Greater Good, will have as I just mentioned, the Death Guard, the Tau, and the Gene Stealer cultists Also on the 13th, beside the Tau story that we're going to be getting, we're going to get our first article looking at the Ritual of the Damned, and this one's going to be dedicated to the Grey Knights. Again, it's probably going to be filled with rule previews, you know, probably like, I don't know, maybe new weapon loadout stratagems, maybe some new profiles, hopefully, for, you know, a new unit. I don't know what they're going to be doing, but it's definitely going to be something rules-wise to get people in the mood, to get them hyped up, of course, to get ready to buy the book. On the 14th, it's going to be the Thousand Sun article, and on the 15th, it's going to be the Dark Angels article as well, just to finish us all off. So there we go. That is all the stuff that's going to be coming next week. Of course, when they drop, I'll be doing videos dedicated to them, looking at all the rules, what's changed, what they get. Are they going to be, you know, like Beast Slayer? Are they going to be improved and stuff like that? Fingers crossed, Grey Knights become like the next tier of gaming, because I just want to start a new Grey Knight army so bad. I really want to start them. And if they start getting really awesome things I can start purging my heretic friends with, then I will be just in a land of love. Alright, Chaperoonios, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. As always, if you've got any questions, leave them below. I'll do my best to try and answer them. But there we go. Ritual of the Damned is coming next. Greater Good should be next month. Then after that, Saga of the Beast. That's what I'm looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Give me some glorious Gaz Skull. Please, GW, please let it be Gaz Skull. Give me a new Gaz Skull model. Space Wolves, Orcs. Oh, I just need it. I just need it. And, of course, after that, we should get a preview of really what else is coming in the Psychic Awakening. So that's going to be a nice one as well. I'm really, really wondering who are Custodians going to fight? That's an interesting one. Who can my glorious Custody boys be fighting? I really want to see who they're going to be taking on. Right, that's enough for me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. As always, see you now, and bye-bye.